Hey everyone, this is Damon Garrity. This is about maybe 10-15 minutes later. I just had to wash, get some clean clothes on. Still piping hot. It's like I'm still partially red-eyed, if you can see, from the exercise and getting sweat in my eyes. Alright, so I've got to do a review. Even I've done this before, so it's not a 100% first time reaction review, but I didn't actually really think about doing it before, so this will still be my original kind of reactions to this. Okay. I'm going to go over each of the exercises one by one and tell you how I felt about doing them, and then I'm going to tell you, like, you know, what my recommendations are if you're going to do them, and any other details that I can think of as I'm doing it, because this is like very ad hoc. I don't have like a script or anything. Yeah, so we're going to start off with cardio challenge, which is the one I most recently done just now, so most fresh in my memory. Cardio challenge, yeah, basically I did like doing it. It kind of eases you in very slowly, and then kicks up your heart rate, which you can tell from like a lot of the measurements, like from my watches and things, that like my heart rate goes from like something like 80 to like 140, sometimes 160. Actually, that goes across the board. A lot of times you'll notice that most of the times my heart rate goes up higher when I'm doing ab work and I'm meant to relax, but that's mostly because I'm trying to catch my breath, whereas I don't have time to catch my breath, and it's like kind of like everything's not working quite right. So cardio challenge is quite it's fun. I do like it. It's not as I won't say physically demanding. It's not as I'd say painful. That would be the best way to put it. Not as painful as some of the other exercises, because it kind of centers on your whole body. It kind of centers on doing a little bit of everything. I do not like the fact that there's pack ups in it. That's like one of my top three least favorite exercises. The other one being push ups, and I can't remember what the other one is. And things like tuck jumps or power jumps and things like that. Mainly because I have to use my lower abs, and when I do that, I usually don't have the option to breathe, because I'm so tense. That might be me, might be other people, but like as an asthmatic, I kind of need every breath of oxygen I can get. Yeah. Then I'll go on to Tabata Power. Tabata Power. It prepares you, like that's the best way to put it. It prepares you for Tabata strength. It is literally the gateway, the gateway to getting through some of the pain of Tabata strength. I do like the fact that it's like 30 seconds on, and you get like I think it's like a 15-second break or something like that. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off or something like that. And that gives me a little bit of time to, it's like, so I get into the exercise, get the hang of it, and then when we go back into doing it again, it's a little bit easier to deal with. Sweat intervals. Well, I did sweat intervals, and I also did I did sweat intervals, and I did what's it called? Sweat something. Oh, I can't remember. Sweat Fest, which is this one. So I actually quite enjoyed both of them, because they usually grind your legs first to pace, and it's like I don't know if you noticed, my legs are very big, but I do like them, even though they're very big. I like them because they give me a really good base of support. Downside is there's a lot more to shift, and it's a lot harder to like bounce around like some of the other people. You notice that a lot of people that seem to be able to do the very jumpy plyo stuff seem to be a lot thinner and require, like, I mean, not saying they don't require as much power to get up, because it's probably like equivalent amount of power to get up because their muscles are smaller, but when you think about how much, like, it's like the power to lift you off the ground usually is obviously higher. So it's like, you know, like, I mean, obviously it's proportionate to how big you are, really, but and usually, like, the bigger you are, usually it's supposed to be the more muscle you have, but it's just kind of like doesn't necessarily transmit to how easy it is to do it. So in a way, it's like when you're bigger, it doesn't mean like bigger muscles mean you can do it more or do it easier, because like I noticed that a lot of the big guys in the videos were having just as much trouble as I was, and I'm not even that big, like, in comparison to like if you met my uncle, he's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like he is hench. It's like he's like one of the guys that you just don't want to fuck with. Yeah, so it's like, so yeah, I didn't have I do you get through that part, then you start working a bit more arms and stuff. With Sweatfest I did like, because it was like it's a massive callback to Insanity. I think they just slapped a timer on it, not in a horrible sense, that it just kind of seems like that. It's like that this was like an afterthought of like, maybe it was like an afterthought that this was the preemptive the idea before. Like, this was pre-Max 30, I think, like, in a sense of like they saw this and was like, getting them a really serious burn in 30 seconds. Because at the end they do a cheer for Insanity, and they don't do a cheer for Insanity Max 30. So it does seem like this was an Insanity workout that didn't make it make the cut, but they didn't want to waste the footage, so they figured out how to use it for the next evolution of this. I do like that they're cutting down, like, they cut down the timers. They've cut down the timer to 30 minutes. 30 minutes isn't that hard to do. I mean, like, you'll note one thing I do notice is that when you're doing each exercise, like, once you get to like the 25-minute mark, you're like, where the fudge did the time go? Like, your body felt it. Like, just don't get it twisted. Your body knows you've done 25 minutes, but your mind has just gone blank. It's like, you know, when you experience extreme amounts of pain, like, for instance, like, you know, when women are pregnant, like that chemical that goes around their brain that makes them forget how painful pregnancy is. It's kind of like that. It's like you've gone through such an arduous task that your brain desperately wants you to forget it. Well, don't get me wrong, there were some parts of Asylum that I felt were harder, but it was mainly because it was like some of it was technical, so it was like it was harder to accomplish because you had to have more thought in it. I'll say this as well for the entire exercise as a whole. I have to always have the subtitles on, because during exercise I have a tendency to have to shut off brain power, like, to use it for other things. It's like I literally just need all the energy to be flowing into my body, and I'm just literally my brain, all my brain is doing is mirror whatever I see on the screen. Sometimes it's a direct mirror, or sometimes it's an opposing mirror, like, but whatever it is, it's usually trying to just mirror, and I'm like that's the most brain power I'm trying to use. Everything else is trying to focus on doing what I'm seeing on the screen. And then what happens is, like, sometimes I do use, like, if I can't figure out what's going on the screen, like, I use the words on the screen to like try and figure it out, because the words on the screen appear before the exercise, so that gives me like a few seconds head start on figuring out what I'm going to do next. Yeah, so let's get back to it. Tabata strength is pain. I don't know why someone thought putting 5 units, like, or five, like, I don't know, I guess it wouldn't be reps, or maybe you could put it as reps, 5 reps of push-ups in right next to each other, and they did it for both. It's like, and the thing is, it's like you think to yourself, oh yeah, finally got through it. Yeah, it's like, and then there's more arm exercises. It's like your arms like feel like they're gonna explode. I don't think literally under any circumstances there was no, that, like, both years there was no way I did the entire exercise without switching to a modifier or putting my knees down or something. I'm like, if I did do it last year, but because I don't have footage, I don't remember, and I don't remember, like, I don't see there being a possibility unless I did this for like a year. I don't see there being a possibility of me being able to do that. It's like I had so much trouble doing Asylum, so much trouble doing Insanity because of all the push-ups, and then going to Max 30, and then they're just doing the same thing, but except that, so the thing is with Insanity, there's a mix. There's 30 30 30, that's the set, like, or 45 45 45, or and then a minute. right? So it's like you have that before you have that break, so you don't not necessarily doing like, or you'd have an exercise in between that would give you that muscle group a break. That's the only thing I have a problem with Insanity Max 30, and like that's about strength. The Friday Fight Night, I'm gonna do both of them. They are crazy, insane. I love them because the music is very, very, what's I mean, and Shaun T is very, very the music is very inspiring. It's like it's just kind of like it's kind of makes you feel like Rocky. It's like, come on, you can do this, you can get through, you can take those punches, you can give those punches, you know, that kind of like changing, like basically it's kind of like that music that kind of changes your mentality and mentally prepares you. Then you've got like, so like the Friday, way Shaun T coaches on Friday Fight Night. It's like, look, and he goes to you like this isn't choreography, this is you fighting for your life, and you feel like you're fighting for your life, and that's what one of the things that's amazing for it. It's like you are literally fighting with everything you have to try and get through, and it's like it literally, you're having to crash through walls every single time. Like every time you try and beat your last time, it's harder than the last time, and it's like because you're correcting your form. And the thing is, it's like I'll drop this for month 2 before I lead into month 2. Month 2, you start correcting yourself. It's like you'll notice that like sometimes like I'll be doing an exercise, and then next thing you know, I take this like maybe half-second pause, and then be like, and then you see me do the exercise either better or harder than I was doing it before. Even some of the modifiers that I was doing, I don't know if you noticed, some of the modifiers didn't match the original modifiers that were on the screen because I didn't have them on the screen. I was trying to use like a microsecond of imagery on the screen to figure out what I'm supposed to do as a modifier, and I take that and try and guess the whole damn thing, but because I don't have time to do that, otherwise I'm maxed out, I just put my head down and try and work it out myself. And sometimes I've done something that's actually directly in the middle of like a modifier and the original exercise. Like there was one, I think it was a push-up, and it was like a wide push-up, and it was literally all I had to do was move my arm to the right, move my arm to the left. That was it. And I was moving my arm to the right, down, push up, moving my arm to the left, down, push up. Whereas, like I said, the modifier is like doing just an arm, and the actual people on the screen are they're doing the full intensive version of it. They're actually going like no knees down, doing a lat push up. And so you can imagine like I'm actually not actually getting the break I'm thinking I'm getting, because, well, not break so much, but I'm not toning it down so I can regain my strength. It's like I do wish there was alternative exercises that like were just as intense, but would allow you to get your breath back. I mean, that's one of the things I did like about Insanity is you do some exercises and you could literally get a break in them, in the sense of like your chest would be not being used. I mean, you're still tight, your core still tight, but your chest wouldn't be actually used, and in the sense of you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't be short of breath. You could literally take a rest a second, but while still doing like some kind of intense leg exercise or intense arm exercise. On top of that, you know, you just it's like I said, like just having like it kind of does feel like, I do like the thing about like the whole exercise as a whole is that like everyone kind of comes together at the end and they're like, dude, you did it. It's like we join together when it's hard, like everyone kind of comes into the middle of the circle. It's like a power circle, and they have the camera and they place it inside the circle so you're there with them. I do really like that makes you feel like you're part of the crew. I know it's just a, what's the word, a virtual pick-me-up, and it's not real, you're not there, they're not with you, but it kind of helps because you know that you just suffered pain and you have people there with you. I mean, this is why I wanted to originally go to the gym, because when you're suffering, like if someone sees something that they like, even when you're working out, my imagining is that they'd like, oh, can I join you? Like, let's do this together, man. Or, you make a friend, and then you both are like pushing each other and egging each other on. And that's one of the things I do like about Max Sweaty is even though he is trying to coach you and trying to be cruel, although one of the exercises, if I can't remember what it is, the what was it called? Max out 15, right? That is mean. Like where he does the whole thing where he does. So I'm just scratching the top of my nose for some reason. It's really itchy. I think I might accidentally lift some soap on it. Where you're doing, I can't think it's called hurdle drill, and you go, and he goes go. And you do hurdle drill one side, then you go, you hurdle drill the other side, and then basically, if you're not paying attention, you go again. And this is like someone makes a mistake, because I can't concentrate and scream when I'm doing that, because it's like you literally have to have your head down. And then someone makes a mistake, and then you have to do 10 push-ups. That is pure coach material. That is like mean coach. It's like, drop it, give me 20. Although, like in a sense, Shaun T does have some mean streaks in him, where it's like where you're doing suicides and suicide jumps and suicide burpees, and you're like, this is supposed to be a punishment. Why are you doing this to me? Like in the middle of an exercise, like, dude, not cool. Like, but yeah, you get used to it. So max out cardio. Nearly every single time I did that, I had a really bad asthma attack. I wasn't particularly enjoying myself when I was doing that one. I'm not particularly good with cardio. It's like basically down to my asthma, because cardio specifically drives my temperature up way too fast, and that's what actually sets off my asthma. My asthma is like heat reactive, so my body temperature skyrockets. It goes straight to this point, and like and my asthma sets off. Now a lot of the other exercises, they bring you up a lot slower, and so you'll notice that I'll have an asthma attack. You can see me having an asthma attack, but then I'll be able to like kind of push it away, because I got there a more mellow way. So that's my only problem with that. Max out power. The push-up things again. You start doing, but the thing is, it's like 45 seconds, 15 seconds off. That break does not satisfy. Like you think to yourself, oh, well, I'm getting an extra 5 seconds break, but you're working an extra 25 seconds, and you don't realise that little 15-second break is not going to help you. Like when you're doing like 15 seconds of jogging, it's like that's like at least maybe five deep breaths you could have taken, but you don't. I mean, I do notice that some people in the videos actually do stop, and I'm not dissing or anything like that. It's like they're just there as kind of like moral, like in a sense of moral support, and to show you that these are real people doing this. Not everyone is like a freaking gymnast, athlete. I mean, one of them's a like park ranger, so like this guy's used to like stamina. I'm guessing he could do like running and jogging and things like that, no issue. But then I'd imagine as a park ranger, you've learned you've become more of a stamina build. He's a hench, and it's like stamina build. Like so, he's more designed for intense, long exercise. So it's like climbing rocks, trees, whatever it takes to do his job. Like whereas, and it's like and just having enough energy in that, and then I don't have to carry my lunch with me because I've got enough energy stored, kind of thing. Whereas it's like even he's having a hard time doing it, and it's like and if he's having a hard time, he's like not like an athlete per se. He'd be more of a marathon runner kind of athlete kind of thing, where it's like you slow burn, and he'd still have as much energy as he had when he started practically. But if he's getting burned out in this exercise, it means that as a person, like you're going to suffer. There's no way you're doing anything even remotely close to what this guy's doing. Unless like a fireman or a mountain climber or something similar, where you actually are very, very active outdoors. But yeah, it's like you see some of them like one of them was actually a gymnast, and she was doing some of the plyo very easily. I'm saying she made it look easy. One of the other girls, I'll get onto my gripe in a minute. I'll leave that conversation, go straight back to the DVDs for a minute. Just use DVDs as a reference sort of thing. Max Out Sweat, that did burn, like, because I think there was one exercise, I can't remember if it was, no, Max Out Sweat wasn't too bad. It did still have push-ups, but and it was like, but the push-ups were less, because I do remember that, because you, by the time you get to the power, strength portion of the workout, you're not recovered from power day. Yeah, so it's like I did that wasn't the best. I mean, it does make you run a lot. You usually break into a sweat about 2 minutes in, which is quite impressive, because like even normal Insanity, like it took me about, I mean, like I would be out of breath, having an asthma attack after the first or second part of warm up, which is like 2 minutes in, but it wouldn't be till like the third or fourth round, the third round / around about the time when you're doing the warm up stretch, is when I'd actually start sweating. Friday Fight Night round 2 is mean, like, not even gonna say it, because it's like you don't have a break until like 16 minutes into the thing. So like you saw me, like I remembered, like after the thing, it's the first week, and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna try and double up. But the thing is, it's like you have to worry about having enough strength to get to 16 minutes versus the stitches you're going to get trying to drink up enough to get there. I usually don't particularly get stitches that much, except when I'm doing a lot of ab work, which wasn't ideal because that's what some of the things were I was doing. What else have I got to worry about? Sorry. Yeah. So I was going to say, yeah. One of the women, like she was called the Switch Quick Queen. I can't remember her name. I didn't really get into names. And yeah, she just made all of, like, anyone doing it look like just a noob, like straight up just noob. There was no ifs or buts about it. Complete props to her for being able to do that, because like she was swinging those legs, punching out, and I was like like that, like it just, I was suffering. I was suffering every single time. I'm not saying she wasn't suffering, but whatever it was she was eating, drinking, or whatever was she was doing before she started doing this, like, good on you, like, and then that leads me to one of my few downsides about it. You didn't get to know the people. Like, you get a few little bits and pieces. Oh, she's a mom of 2 children, or she's I don't know, like, this guy's a park ranger, this guy is an instructor. But I wanted to know a little bit more, you know. It's like, if I'm supposed to be pretending that these people, you know, are my friends as a virtual thing, you know, like, that's why you put in a circle. It's like power together. It's like, you guys, you know, it's like, this is one of the reasons why some people go to things like spin classes and what's those, like, they go like, you know, like intense training classes and things like that, because they want to do it together, because, you know, they say misery loves company, and I'm not saying that you're going to be miserable when you go out to these things. I'm saying in the sense of, like, when you suffer, it's easier when you're suffering with someone else. It's like you guys got you got that base of support, and I didn't feel like you had that much. You didn't really get to know anyone. I felt like you did seem to drop more about the people in Insanity, and he dropped it even more in Hip Hop Abs, because you actually got a meet the cast, where you actually got to meet them, they know a little bit about them, and, like, you know, it's like, I know that you're not your friends, but the thing is, it's like, it's kind of better that you kind of think to yourself, oh, well, this person is from this place, this person is this age, this person used to do this is why they're doing good at this is why they're doing bad at this, sort of thing. And it's like, so don't feel bad, everyone's different, you know. I don't think you felt that as much in in Insanity Max 30, and that was the only thing that I think is a downside. Is like you didn't really feel connected to any of the people in there because they were very detached. But then you have the point where it's like, you know, power circle. It's like, come in, you're part of the group, and it just kind of detracts away from that because it's like, yeah, you're part of a group of strangers. You know, it's like, I get the whole, you know, power in, you know, like, you know, one voice, one mindset. Everyone's trying to do better. Everyone's trying to max out. It's like, I did. There was one good side. I mean, you did get to have the whole thing where you could, where you could try and beat their scores. But the thing is, you don't know whether or not it's their first score or their last score. I mean, like, this is a video, so for all intents and purposes, they could have only done these exercises once. And then you're finding out that... Sorry, my phone's going off. So you're just finding out like this is their first time scores, which either makes you feel really bad because their scores are better than yours, or this could be their last scores, and when they're doing maxing out and things like that, and you're like, well, I didn't get that far until the end, you know. So it's not really feeling like a stepping block. I think if they'd done something where it says, if you goes like, you know, is this your first attempt, second, third, or fourth attempt, right? So at the end, after the exercise, it shows you the results of what people did, where people maxed out, where people had suffered, where, you know, like each week it's like, oh, I got through the plyo power push-ups or something like that, plyo push-ups, right? This week I'm gonna definitely beat the high-low switch kicks next week. You know, that would be that's what they kind of do in the video, but then you don't know if they ever did, because they said, oh yeah, I'll do it next week, but you don't get to see film of them doing next week. See, I think if you're going to do this DVD thing, you should do it like this is week. I know it's about condensing and then making more money for doing less, but I would like to see what people are like week 1 to 4, because then you could see, you know, how could you improve? How could you make yourself better? Are you doing things wrong? Do you understand what I mean? That is my one true gripe. You're like that, and like you don't really know the people. It's like, I mean, like in the Regional Sanity, you know Tanya. Tanya's in like everything, and she's insane. Like, she's a machine. Like, literally, I tried being her on the Insanity fitness test, the original Insanity fitness test, and I nearly vomited and fell down. Like, that's how bad it was. I was sick at the time, but like, I'd been working out for about a month, but I wasn't expecting to nearly like toss my cookies. That was not a pretty kind of situation. Other than that, 1 second. Sorry, I'm just making sure that, because my missus just left, so she's coming home. Should be home in about an hour. Yeah, so there's that. One of the so I'm going to go over the actual whole thing as something like, the burn is very rapid. Like, you get into burning your body parts like in rapid succession, and then it's over, right? There's nothing wrong with that, except for the deficit, like the energy deficit that doesn't kick in straight away, because it's like, you know, when you eat, and if you eat fast, you don't realize you're full. So, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh god, my stomach, you know, because you've eaten too much. This is done so fast, you don't realise you've zapped every ounce of energy. So you're like, oh yeah, I got through it, la 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 la, oh, damn. So I would say, like, definitely after everyone, like, this is actually what I do. I have a protein shake, so actually, which I haven't had, and it's like nearly been maybe 40 minutes. I probably should not have done that. Yeah, I would always recommend having a protein shake as soon as possible, because you will suffer. It's got a new one. Very low fat, very low carbs, sugars, everything. But it's like more protein than anything. Although saying that, I do add Weetabix, which just adds all the carbs back. But I require the additional protein. So other than that, yeah, the deficit afterwards, I used to feel the same deficit after any of the exercises, but it's a bit worse because it creeps up on you. It's like, because you feel like you know, when you get past the max weight, you're like, oh, well, I've accomplished my very hard exercise for the day, and about 2 hours later your energy flatlines. I find, especially after the cardio one, so I'm waiting for the flatline to happen. It'll probably happen about 45 minutes from now for me. Other than that, what other things were good and bad? Oh, good was in one of the DVDs. Yeah, Shaun T stopped. And like he stopped so bad that someone actually ran up to him and goes, "Come on, you can do it!" And he was like, "Oh, this is so hard that, like, you know, even Shaun T needs some motivation." You're like, "Yeah, you're a normal person." That's like, because the guy's built like a brick shit house. Like, I mean, like, well, like a proper prime athlete. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him like gut kind of thing. Although supposedly in high school he was big. But like, you don't actually get to see how like, you know, you don't get to. It's like you rarely see him falter. And the thing is, you actually see him running around a lot, and you say to yourself, well, if he's running around, he's not really, and he's talking and stuff like that, and you don't actually realise until one time when he's actually trying to talk to you while doing the same exercise as everyone else, and then you realise, he goes, "Oh, the reason why I'm out of breath is because I'm trying to talk to you while I'm trying to do this ab work." And it's like, that's how hard it is for me, kind of thing. And you're like, yeah, that's really awesome, because you actually see him falter, and it's kind of like seeing him fall, but like, you know, he's the coach, and it's like, this is the guy who's training you to do the exercise. So if he's suffering, it means it's a real exercise, it's a real chore. And you can't complain, you can't hate yourself for not getting through that. And I think that's the biggest morale boost you can get, because it's like, well, if he's suffering and you're suffering, it's not so bad that you're suffering now. It's like, it's okay. I mean, I did hate, one of the other exercises I did hate was this burpee punches. I kept seeming to land on my left ankle wrong. Like, it wasn't actually landing on the ankle itself. Basically, it was like the weight was basically, because I have still toe caps. It's either I concentrate the weight, the balance of the weight into my toes, or it translates into my ankle, like my ankle/Achilles heel. And obviously, the ankle/Achilles heel is not the way to go. It's like, if you can absorb the shock through your toe, it goes into the rest of your foot, which can handle that sort of thing. I mean, you can stand on your tiptoes, your whole body weight. So yeah, it's like, well, it's just like I kept landing really funny doing that. And if you notice, I stopped doing as many lefts as I was doing rights, because the rights one were landing. I was landing correctly and correcting my balance just right at the right time. Whereas on the left, it just wasn't there. I kept worrying that I would, you know, fall from midair a lot quicker than I was falling from my right. It was like I think it might have been the balance. Like I was literally falling faster when I was doing it from my left hand side, because my left hand side doesn't really hold me up as much. I'm usually, at my right hand side is usually power and like landing, and then whereas it's like my left hand side is usually stability. So it was very, very difficult to do for me. For that was one of the other things. The Max 15, loved that. I love the music, the way the music starts. The music, it just kicks. It goes from like, oh, this is Max 15, we're gonna get right into this like, we're cutting it in half, everyone's happy because we're cutting it in half, it's only be 50 minutes, and it's like, it's like a power knee. You're like, wait, what? Like, and it's like, because power knee directly, you're like, if you're doing it like as hard as he's doing it on the screen, you're practically kneeing yourself in the stomach. Like, that's how fast, because he's like, get fast, do it, and you're like in like that, and it's like, damn, like, you know, you're seriously there. Whereas like some of the other exercises, I mean, I really did like the startups for month 2, where you just start off with the medicine ball twists, and I do like the fact that if you notice, the medicine ball twist is actually the middle exercise in the cardio challenge. So it's like it actually does relatively, the month 1 actually relatively build you up to month 2. I don't think it builds up your arm strength enough for round 2 though. I would say at the month 2. Sorry, I'd say. I didn't feel any stronger doing month 2 than I did doing month 1. I felt like I needed more breaks than I was getting. Just trying to think anything else that I could think of. Pulse. Pulse is supposed to be a rest exercise, because like usually the rule of Saturdays is a rest exercise. How no? I didn't understand the concept of having your ab work after you do your pulse, which is supposed to prepare you for it's like day 1 of the new week. And it's like, because you're thinking to yourself, wait a second, this is supposed to stretch me out, make me limber. I mean, this is why I liked T25, which I'm going to be doing in about a week or so. T25, it's like you do 25 minutes of exercise every day. You do 2 on a Friday, and you do a yoga exercise on the Saturday to make you more limber, because you're tense as hell. I did actually like that. That was a very good concept. Although I think T25 might have come before Max 30 or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, so, or it might be Asylum came before Max 30, I think. Something like that, I can't remember. Yeah, oh man, I'm getting hot as anything. Anyway. So yeah, so you got you got this pulse exercise, and like it was fine until you had to do, I think it was like, it was a tricep exercise or something like that, and it was like, I finally thought I got a day or 2 off from the push-ups, and it's like, down, forward, extend, back up, and that wears you out a lot faster, but you have to do it for considerably longer, because you have to do it for a full minute. And it starts off nice and slow to get you in it, and then you're like, oh yeah, now faster. Alright, maybe not that much, but it's just like, yeah. What else is there? Yeah, then going to the ab attack, that was like, why dear God would you put that right afterwards? And the thing is, it was an option. Like, I will admit that that's not on him. It was an option for a more intense set of workouts, but I think you really should have had it so that the ab was before the pulse, so the pulse is the relaxing one, because the abs is not a relaxing exercise at all, and then you're kind of defeating the purpose of going from this pulse exercise, which is supposed to prepare you for Monday, and then you go to another exercise which is brutal, 10 minutes of ab work. I mean, even 10 minutes of ab work in any of the exercises that Shaun T does is never simple, never easy, never gonna be, oh yeah, I can just do that any day of the week. It's like, he asks you, say, if you want to get good at ab work, do it every day of the week. Well, on this schedule, it was like once every 2 or 3 days. I did not like 360 ags with the genie tuck jumps and the genie floor genie tucks. God, that was evil. The other exercise, I think it was max out abs, which is where you lift, like basically you do floor switch kicks, and then afterwards at some point you've got to do L leg raise or something like that, and it's like basically you're on the floor with your back and you're lifting your leg, slowly dropping it down, and it is excruciating on your lower abs. Like sod that, I'd rather do 100 push-ups. Like, that is how bad it gets. And then you've got to do backstroke and things, and it's just like all these weird kind of ab works that just kind of just bury your stomach. Like there was 2 or 3 points where I thought I was literally going to pull a muscle with my stomach. I'm so glad I didn't, but like, I don't really want to do that. Some of the progressions were fun. A lot of the progressions were not. Like, some of them were like, you're burning the same area I'm trying to recover so I can do more exercise. I want to do more exercise, but I can't, because you're actually specifically targeting one group of muscles for about 5 minutes. And it's like, I can understand if it was targeting the same group of muscles but from a different angle, that'd be great. It's like, I don't know, if you'd gone from, say, if you'd gone from like doing your arms like bicep moves, then went from biceps to triceps, as opposed to bicep, that would have, I probably would have gotten a lot further, a lot more often of the time. Other things were there. Yeah, I do really like the 15-minute punishment thing I started doing, where I was like, if I got lower than I did last year, I was throwing that in there. But that was on my own. Don't do that unless you feel like you've really got the energy to, because it is really fast and it burns you out really quick. I mean, you saw what I was like yesterday. Like, I was nearly all in with 15 minutes, and like, I think I had to do one modifier or two modifiers or something like that, because I was done. I was trying to like do the exercise as best I could, as quick as I could, and yeah, like I maxed it out like well quick in a sense, and then switched to what is it? Modifiers. What else is there? I did like that it threw my heart rate through the roof. I did like how there's some of the exercises, like some of the really hard dramatic ones, like the cardio based ones. Well, I mean, they're all cardio, but it's like the specifically more cardio based ones. Sweat, max, the cardio challenge, max cardio, and the Friday fight. Yeah, like you got to the point where my heart rate wasn't really going up that high. It was only afterwards, when I got like past 15 minutes, or if I did like an ab work afterwards, I did like that, as it means that like I'm actually getting more athletic in a sense, because like, you know, as you get healthier, your heart rate goes up a bit, but then straight after you're chilling for a few minutes or doing a lower impact exercise, it goes right back down. I did like that. I would recommend Insanity Max 30 for some people that don't have a lot of time, obviously. I'd also recommend Insanity Max 30 for people who have done number one, because number one really does prepare you for Max 30. Insanity, like the original Insanity, really does prepare you for Max 30, because I would say do them one after the other. I would never say do anything in between, like I did, and I would definitely not do a dance one before doing Max 30. Trust me, that is not a good plan. The reason why it's okay to do this between now, like for the next week, between now and T25, is straight up because I'm doing 4 exercises a day, so I'm definitely still working really hard. And then on the fact is that the first month is called Alpha Round, and it is a foundation based exercise, so it leads you to getting strong again. So I won't have to jump in head first like I did with Insanity Max 30. It's intense, it's hard. Like, I mean, you saw me, I had to, like, sometimes I killed over. That's how hard it was. Like, it takes a lot for me to be like on the ground. Like, if you ask my friends, I mosh a lot. Like, it's hard to get me to go on the ground for any reason, or even to give ground. That's how that sort of thing. So if I've rolled over on the floor, it means that this is no joke, this is real, this is hardcore. The struggle is raw, like I keep saying to you people. I'm not saying it in a mean way, just like say to you people that like the struggle is hard. Like, right, pressing play every day, like he says, is going to be hard, but if you do it, you will be happy, you will get results. Like I said, I lost 3 stone doing this sort of exercise over a course of 4 months. 3.5 stone. Right, I'm now down to 15 stone. It seems to be my plateau weight based on exercise. So we're going to consider seeing if changing my diet, and maybe going back to just only having 1 cheat day as opposed to 2. Because I just like thought about it, and it's like 104 days of the year I'm eating junk. which is considerably bad. Yeah, I apologise for not doing my eating calendar. It is very hard because there's a lot of items in my diet that don't actually have calories in them, and from what I recently heard from I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show Adam Ruins Everything about fitness and health and stuff like that. You don't actually like government platforms don't actually allow you to be hundreds of calories out, of any, like you can be off the stats by like 10 or 20% or something like that in some ways. I mean that watch is off. I mean the thing is I can tell when it's generally right, and yeah, just it's very difficult to do. It's like some things, like when you're buying from shops, like I buy a bubble tea from a vegan shop, vegan like bubble tea place, and they have jellies, vegan jellies. They have like tapioca, and trying to work out the calorie intake for tapioca is very difficult. This is based on how much you're getting, how big they go when they're done, all sorts. What else is there? I have to think about. Was there any other things that? Yeah, I didn't like that you didn't really get an intro to Insanity. Like I did like the little intro that you get during when the health warning comes up, but I needed a bit more. That would have been helpful. Like I said, it's I find having a little bit more moral support, and like, you know, having someone, you know, it's like because in this he's just a coach, and I'm not saying that in a mean way, he's just a coach. It's just like I want someone who's like, you know, it's like someone like, I won't say cheerleader, but someone who is in your corner cheering you on. Yes, he does say, hey, come over here, I still love you, and I do like that. But it's like kind of like, it's like, look at my face, look, I'm like, every time you jump back up, look at me, and it's like he's got a serious like kind of game face, like, yeah, I'm gonna tackle you, bro. Face on, and it's sometimes it's funny. I do wish, I mean, that it was more of a jokey kind of thing, but I mean, obviously this is a lot harder, this is more intense. I don't know, just I felt like you're very disattached from the exercise. Like, I mean, you got you get your headspace in there, that's great, but I felt that you just wasn't, I don't know how to put it. I don't like. I felt that I was more connected to the original Insanity than I am to the Insanity Max 30. There was some funny bits. It's like you're saying, yeah, don't quit. It's like you're taking a break way too long, man. Like it's like, or like, she can't even give me a high five, she's too tired. Like, you know, that sort of thing is very jokey, very upbeat. You know you're doing something hard, he knows you're doing something hard, and he like, you know, just adds a few jokes. It's like there was one point where someone went to get a drink of water. It's like, no drink for you, and it literally, you just see the drink kind of like some of it splash on the floor, and you're like, man, I was thirsty. You're like, and you're literally just sitting there, just trying not to piss yourself laughing, and you're trying to carry on with the exercise. That was amazing because it made you feel like, I want to drink too, like, you know. And it's like, but no drink for you. It's like, I don't want you to have to take a break. It's like, you've had enough breaks, kind of thing. It's just so funny. It was just like, I mean, I do like the fact that he's like, yeah, if you take a break, it's good, it's all right, don't worry. You take a break, you need a break. I didn't like the fact that there wasn't really as many jokes. It wasn't really as fun. I mean, there was a couple of times, like, there was this really one cruel point where you're doing the ab attack 10, and he goes, oh, you've only got 8 seconds left. You're joking. I lied. You've actually got 15 seconds left. This is my carnival in here. There will be tricks and all sorts of, like, I think I'm mixing quotes, but it's funny, like, because you're like, because everyone's like, oh, 8 seconds left. and then he goes, actually, you got 50 seconds left, and you're like, I lied, and you're like, no, like, because you've like literally just like, you know how you limit yourself when you're doing the exercise. And the thing is, he mentions this himself. You limit yourself when you do the exercise because you think to yourself, oh, I've only got to push for another 8 seconds. I can do this. 8 seconds ain't nothing. Wait, 15 more. Fuck. No, I'm losing it. Can't keep the morale. And it was just crazy. It was completely like something. And it's like, you know, there was times when it was just like, you know, like I said, drop down and give me 10. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like in the max 15, and then you got like other points where he was just like, same again, Ab Attack 10. When you walk in there, when he comes up to you and says, I'm gonna go mess with you, like mess with these guys, and he walks up to like one of the girls in the front, and he's like, hey, how you doing? Is everything alright? It's like, yeah. You're kind of like, and you're like, dude is just straight up clowning on people because he doesn't have to do as much of the work. Like, and the thing is, I say that, but like, I've actually tried to describe the exercises I was doing. I literally have my missus sitting right where I'm sitting right now while I'm doing my exercises and trying to explain to her. It is ridiculously difficult to try and even remotely grasp the concept of oxygen. Like, I know the whole thing you breathe isn't 100% oxygen, but like, it's the thing you need out of all of it. Like, trying to, the concept of oxygen is just not apparent. Like, when you are doing some of these exercises, and then to talk and waste up the little that you have, nah, like some of it was just so ridiculous. And I realised that in the first Insanity, so this is being a condensed version, condensed and upgraded moves and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely there's I complete respect that he runs around, and I mean I did like the fact that like some of his exercises he's like, I'm just gonna hop here, and there was one in Insanity, the first one, where he actually does one of the exercises I find the hardest. I don't hate it, I'm just not good at it. Called tricep. I'm sorry, I think it's floor switch kicks. Not floor switch kicks, tricep switch kicks or something like that. Basically, you're on your triceps and you're switch kicking, and he literally walks over to someone. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna walk. I'm going all the way around this, and I'm like, dude, I can't even do it standing like still, and you're freaking jumping around. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, you definitely are coach, yeah, you're definitely the guy who's in charge. Like, no, like literally, like you give him his props straight up, because you're like, bro, are you seriously jumping around the rim? It's like switch kicking around the like even in Insanity Max Payne, switch kicking. It's like, oh yeah, I better run my ass back to the front because I've got. It's like there was one part where where he was so busy trying to coach you that he forgot to drink his water, and you're like, bro, I would never forget to drink my water. I mean, I think there was one point in like week 2 of this where I literally was killed over on the floor, and he was like, get up, and I was like, I'm trying and I know you lost 15 seconds, and I was like, fuck, I needed that 15 seconds to like drink, breathe, something that was not being on the floor. Yeah, I did. I mean, there were mornings where I did not love it. There were other days where like I was really proud of myself. The last few weeks, you know, it's like it didn't occur to me that like, oh yeah, you know, common sense wise, if I want to do better, it might be in my best interest to consider actually doing the modifier, which didn't really occur to me. Doing the modifier means I don't actually have to max out. I mean, yeah, it means I'm doing a lower impact exercise, but I'm not stopping generally. It's like just figuring out the exercises though. I think I spent an hour talking about this. But this place is a more in-depth review between gulps. What else is there? I don't find that the Grenade's Devastation helped me as much as I would have liked. I think it's because I'm used to the caffeine kick, so it's just not getting me there. So I will be on the lookout for something that will keep me energized. Again, like even this stuff, which I haven't finished drinking. Let me just finish drinking that. It actually has protein in it as well. Yeah, like even that didn't really help. The BCAA kept me from like feeling how bad I felt when I was doing Asylum and Insanity, where it just felt like every muscle was torn. Also, investing deep heat. Deep heat is life itself. I told you this now. Like when you're getting that muscle burn, it's like I heal really rapidly, but like it either takes like it basically I need to improve the circulation in the area to heal as fast as I do. I usually need like tons of water, but I see, part of me's wondering if I would have actually done a lot better if I'd actually just had water the whole time, straight, just neat. But I don't know. I won't know now. I mean, there were some scores, and I'm thinking to myself, I didn't modify it anywhere near as much as I did this year. I'm not going to pretend, and I'm not going to lie to you. So it's like I feel like I did do more modifiers this year than I did last year, and I got higher. Sometimes I got higher scores. But the other thing is I did have physio on my arms and shoulders and back this year, and some on my rib cage as well. So I'm getting there. I'm not doing too badly for someone who was like really badly injured, like entire chest this year. So I can take that away. Other than that, like I don't really think I can think of anything else. I would just say recommend have things to keep your energy levels up. I'm going to start doing what I used to do, where I got up and the first thing I did was have some glucose tablets. I'm going to start doing that again because I'm thinking that's one of the reasons why I'm having such an issue kind of starting up exercises. I kind of make excuses and try and procrastinate as much as I can to not do the exercise. Friday fight night, I'll drop this again. Like it fills you with dread after a point, and it's like literally just it's like there's nothing wrong with the exercise. It's just the fact that like it's gonna just kick you in the teeth. Like there is no ifs or buts about it. I mean, I think there was even one point where Shorty goes, come. It's like you probably feel like you shot yourself. No, I'm just kidding. Like where it just feels like you did. It's like it feels like you just walked up and you tried to euthanize yourself. It's that painful, like sometimes, and it's like I'm not doing that to scare you. I'm not saying that to make you run away. Trust me, the results are amazing. I have more tone to my body than I did before I did this exercise. I grew new muscles in in hip hop abs to Insanity. I repaired most of the damage between that and physio. Then when I did Asylum, I grew oblique muscles because they were just so badly necessary. I didn't really have much in the way of oblique muscles, but now, like, I actually kind of now have a better like wall of muscle between this side. So now, someone punching me in the kidneys is going to be a bit harder. Like I say this because I used to actually get punched in the kidneys sometimes in the mosh pit. So it's quite good. What else is there? And in this exercise I got more tonnage. I've got more defined muscles across my stomach, around my chest area. It's more defined. Lower abs are a bit more defined as well. So like it's completely worth what you pay for it. It's completely worth what you do to get through it. I'd say be careful if you have things like, because some of the things I'm taking are caffeine based supplements. Be careful because they're not good for your heart. I'll say this now. It's like, and Insanity is going to push your heart to new extremes. Like, doesn't matter who you are. And so, like, just be careful. I would say always be careful. Don't take as much caffeine as you can physically handle. You know, I would say check with your doctor, like just like it says on the warnings and things like that. If you have asthma, make sure you're taking a inhaler beforehand. It's like I live by the example. I always take my inhaler before I start. Right, literally, my inhaler is right here. That is how important it is. Do not do this exercise without it. If you have any other breathing condition and you have an inhaler, keep it with you. I also have a white inhaler for Symbicort. Yeah, take that. Make sure you take that every day. I'm not, like, sometimes you're not too fussed if you don't take it in the night, but I'll say definitely take it in the day. Anything else I need to think about, remind you about? Make sure you keep hydrated. Whatever you're drinking, just keep hydrated. Make sure you have your protein shake afterwards. If you can, get some like prolonged stuff, because you can digest protein while during exercise. It might actually help because you might not actually be able to move afterwards, so you might not be able to do that 20-minute thing where you get your protein shake. Depending on how you feel, have a hot or cold shower afterwards. I prefer to have a cold shower because my heat is usually through the roof. I literally just had a heat burst halfway through this video. It's starting to tone back down again, which I'm quite glad. That's the other thing. If you have things like Grenade, they will drive your temperature through the roof. So be very careful. Like, have a couple of windows open. You need the air. Trust me on this. You need the air. Anything else that I can think of? Don't sacrifice form because of pride. I'll tell you this now. Don't. Alright, it's better to max out and hit the dirt than it is to do bad form and hurt your back. There's some times where I felt my back was really going and it really hurts. It's like it's still a bit sore now because I think one of the exercises, I think it was like the chair squat. I think I was rounding my back, and that's the thing. If you listen to Shaun T actually tells you all the mistakes you're liable to make, so pay attention to that. Yeah. Okay. So it's my birthday next week, so I'm actually going to be doing exercise during my birthday week off of work. Yay! But that's my thing. Yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Try and see if you can get low sugar protein bars. They're your friend. I tell you that now, because you'll get the fucking munchies. Sorry, excuse my language. I find that if you're gonna try and get weight loss, the fruit to go for will probably be a grapefruit. Anything kind of citrusy would be, but be careful about how much you take of those because they are very sugary. What else will I say? If you can get a nice peanut butter, that would be a good idea as well. I used to have peanut butter, I used to have like 4 sandwiches a day, 2 egg, ham and avocado. Really nice. High in protein. Fats are really in the avocado. Like, I found out that like a lot, if you have, like, for me, I have pastrami. Pastrami is amazing because it's like about 7 grams a strip of protein. Like, yes. And I have about 5 a day. So the salt content, be careful your salt because that's not good for blood pressure. Try and put cinnamon and cayenne pepper into everything that you can possibly think of. Seriously, everything. I even have a cornmeal porridge sometimes, and it actually has cayenne pepper in it. Because I made a mistake, and my mum used to put mixed spice or allspice, whichever you call it, and I accidentally thought it was cayenne pepper. Turns out it tastes really nice. Who knew? But yeah, that's my food advice. My health advice. Yeah, I would say, like I said, definitely see a doctor. trust me on this, because even I went to see my doctor. He said, what kind of exercise are you doing, like, because you know you're on physio, Davian. And I was like, well, I'm doing a very, very low impact exercise right now, which was the truth. I was doing hip hop abs. When I got to the point where I was doing Insanity, I probably I sugarcoated what I was doing. I said I'm doing a more intense exercise now, and I think it's going to get more intense next month as well. So I need to kind of be better by then, and fortunately enough, the physio people actually did help me get better enough to do what I was doing, and I'm very grateful. I mean, it turns out a lot of the problem was literally not having something like simple as deep heat. That's why I recommend it. If you have some deep heat, it's good. Rub it over your muscles if they're sore. Trust me, it will help a little bit. Like, don't think about the ibuprofen kind of thing and the what's the name. Like, they don't really help as much. Like that kind of topical cream. The reason why I recommend deep heat is because, you know, it's the same reason why I recommend a hot shower after a workout. It increases blood circulation in your body. If you like, but the thing is, me, I can't withstand a hot shower. It will either give me a chest infection or make any fluid that's sitting in the bottom of my lungs bubble, which causes me to choke and cough. I don't know if you noticed, like, there was a couple of times where I was choking and coughing on the floor while I was doing push-ups and things, or doing weird exercises. It was literally because the stuff that was floating in my lungs was bubbling and coming up into my throat. Never a good thing. So yeah. Like, so you know what my health kind of conditions is, you know what my health is like, so you know that, like, I say these things from a place of concern. I say these things from my real life experience. Always be careful. These are not jokey exercises. Okay, I would say that, like, the dancing ones are kind of jokey, although some of the actions are repetitively, like, that you do repetitively, are mean. They will catch up to you. Like, they'll burn your hips, they'll burn your thighs, they'll burn your butt, they'll burn your abs and arms in some ways. Yeah, some of those motions, like, I think there was one where it's like kind of like a weird kind of thing in one of the what was it? Party groove, whatever it was. I can't remember what the exercise is called now anymore. Hip hop groove or no, not hip hop abs. I can't remember what the name's called. Rocking body. Yeah, rocking body. Yeah, some of the exercises actually do catch up with you. I won't even pretend that they won't. But yeah, I would, like I said, recommend this. If you can get it on the cheap, get it on the cheap, but pay for it. Trust me when I say it is worth more if you pay for it, right? I say this now, like I told you guys, I did this all last year. I didn't pay for it, and I felt bad because, do you know what? They earn that fucking money. Like, and this is where I'm not going to apologize for swearing. They earn that money. Sweet damn, they did, right? Because, like, the impact and the change, like, people started noticing straight away when I started losing weight. They're like, wait, whoa, dude, you're, like, not looking so. I still look a bit chubby in the face, but this line wasn't as apparent last year. I have to be careful because I don't want to lose too much of my face, because, you know, like, you get this weird line here and it stays, like, no matter what you do. Although it kind of does that now anyway. I want to kind of more define. I do want more definition in my face as well, jaws and, like, jaw and neck muscles. I mean, I've got actually pretty pinched neck, like you can see the muscle. Yeah, like they like I said, they deserve everything they got. I actually lost 3.5 kilos. 3.5 stone. Sorry. You can't. It's like that can't be disputed. That was how much I lost. It was crazy. It was literally the hardest 3 months that I had. And I've just repeated them because they were on point, and I paid this time. Like, I feel good that I paid. There's a few reasons. A, when you download this crap, you don't get any of the times that people did the exercises. You don't get the adverts. And the thing is, you think to yourself, why would I want adverts? trust me, when you are like burned to hell by these exercises, watching some funny adverts or watching something else that just completely has nothing to do with exercise, in a sense, just like, you know, healthy body, healthy eating sort of thing, you feel, it's like it kind of takes your mind off of the pain. I would say that. I mean, it does get annoying after a while because you're seeing the same adverts. I wish they did put different adverts on different DVDs. But yeah. Another thing is, they tell you about events and coaching opportunities and all sorts of things that you don't get unless you actually watch the DVD. Yes, I know they're trying to market more of their stuff, but what's wrong with that? What else is there? You also, unless you download it, you don't get the modifier tracks. On top of that, you don't get you just don't get the full experience. I would just say that, don't get the full experience because you cheated and hacked. And the other thing is, it's like there's a little speech at the beginning of every DVD, I think, or especially in Mark 2. You don't get that because they cut off that little trailer bit because they don't want you to read the health warnings and stuff like that. So because they're like, oh, that's boring, no one wants to read that. But the thing is, in these, they actually have a little, like, Shorty has a little speech about how, you know, about eating. He's bumped into people that have actually done his exercise, and they feel good doing it. All sorts. And he's just like, just trust me, yeah, you're going to have to really rely on the power, you're going to have to really rely on the strength today. You know, today is a fight, and it's going to, and this is like, round 1 was easy, round 2 is hard. You're like wait, round 1 was easy, like I barely got through that with my life. And you're just, and then you the person who's like portraying as creating this exercise is saying this is hard. Oh damn, I'm in trouble. Like, and it puts you in the mindset like, this is going to be hard. This is going to be like the hardest you've ever worked. And then you start to mentally prepare. And it's like, it's actually better to mentally prepare for something harder than it is to like just be walking in there, oh, it's just going to be a little bit harder than the other exercises, you know, it's the next step. It's like, no, this is going to remind you that every day is a freaking gift because it's so hard. That's one of the things you're missing out if you download stuff like this. I will say there was one incident where this year I did download something. It's because they don't allow the DVD in America. Like I said, if anyone has access to that DVD, I think it's called what is it called? I think it's like core. No, it's not core balance. It's basically something in regards to balance, and and that's from Asylum. If anyone has access to that DVD or just wants to sell it, I'll buy it. I'll buy it double priced. I don't care, because I actually do want it, because I want it to be as legit as hell this year. Like I said, I want to be on point. And actually now I've just realised that it's coming to the end of this, and this comes to the depressing part where I actually put the DVD away, and it's hard to do. It's going to be upsetting because it's like saying goodbye to something that's been part of my day, which seems really weird, and it's just a DVD, you would say, but it's like an error. Each time I do it, it's an error or a chapter that I close, to keep trying to transform my life, my body, and it's like I shall do the ceremony properly afterwards, but you'll see it reappear back over there, and then the new schedule will go up next week. So this is Damien with You with a T, and I would say definitely, if you ever get the chance or get your hands on the DVDs, go for it. Give it a go. Just check with your doctor, make sure you take all the precautions. If you have heart problems, do the modifiers first. Don't just jump into this exercise. If you have any chest problems, again, modify it. Don't jump into this exercise straight away. I do it because I know what I'm physically capable of, and I'm not saying that I'm better than you or anything like that. I'm just saying that I know what I'm physically capable of. But the thing is, it's like, you see these exercises, you see me doing them, and sometimes you get overly enthusiastic. You're like, oh, well, I can do that. That's easy. And then when you actually get in it, it's actually really hard. I like, just because I got through some of the exercises does not mean it was easy in any way, shape or form. Like, every time hurt, every time was a challenge, every time was, I really just can't wait to get to the end of this part of the exercise. Got to get to that next minute, got to get to that next 15 seconds. And it's usually like you get to that point at the 26-second mark and you're like, oh shit, I've got another 34 seconds left before I have to quit this exercise. I'm not going to make it. And literally, even today, I just said, like, I'm not going to make it. I could feel everything waning. So yeah, like I said, this is Damien Gurity. Keep your restless routines. This T's for transformation. Transform your life. I will catch you tomorrow.